We pulled out of Trump Tower in a full-scale presidential motorcade. Streets in Midtown Manhattan were blocked off, and the crowds watching signaled how they felt about the president-elect. At LaGuardia, we drove right up to Trump Force One. It was the first time we could find a president-elect was going to an Army-Navy game. Mr. Trump climbed on board the plane he says is a step up from Air Force One. Much of his team was there. Chief of Staff Reince Priebus and Senior Advisor Steve Bannon, National Security Advisor General Mike Flynn, and Rudy Giuliani, who just took himself out of the running for Secretary of State. Once we'd leveled off, I asked the president-elect about his new life. Army-Navy game. In a sense, is this your unofficial debut as Commander-in-Chief?
No, it's just something I've wanted to see. It's beautiful. It's hopefully going to be a good game, but really just something I want to see. It's the armed forces the way I look at it, and I love and respect the armed forces. I mean, it's going to be, I think we're going to have a good time.
You spent 5 years at the New York Military Academy, a boarding school, where you became the captain of cadets. What did you learn there about military discipline?
Well, I learned that I respected it, and I respect people in the military, and I always have, at least since I've been there. And we had military people there. We had drill sergeants and colonels, and we actually had a general, and I always respected those people. And I learned that at a young age, they're terrific. There is a lot of curiosity about your lifestyle as president. Are you going to live in the White House? Are you going to spend most of your time at Trump Tower? Yeah, no, I'm going to live in the White House with my family. Barron's going to finish up school because he's got just a couple of months to go, so it's a little hard to take him out of school. And Melania will be back and forth for that first couple of months. No, we'll be staying in the White House.
You talk about the fact that Mrs. Trump is going to stay back in New York with Barron until he finishes school. Are you going to be lonely, rattling around in the White House by yourself for a few months?
No, I'll be working. It's a very special place, and it represents so much. And there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do, more than I even thought. It's so many things we can do to make America great again. I mean, that's what it's all about. And I'll be working. I won't be lonely at all.
Are your daughter Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner, are they moving to Washington?
Well, we're working that out right now. They're both very talented people. I won't be involved in my business at all, even though I have a legal right to be under the laws, as you know, because the president has a certain doctrine that he can do things, but I just don't want to do it. Even if I could do it, which I'm allowed to, I wouldn't want to do it. I want to devote my time.
What about them? Are they moving?
Well, theirs is a little bit different, and I think we'll have to see how the laws read. I would love to be able to have them involved. If you look at Ivanka, you take a look, and she's so strong, as you know, into the women's issue and child care, and so many things should be so good. Nobody could do better than her, and I just have to see whether or not we can do that, and she would like to do that, and I'd love to have Jared helping us on deals with other nations and see if we can do peace in the Middle East and other things. He's very talented. He's a very talented guy. So we're looking at that from a legal standpoint right now.
Then it was on to the stadium for the game. First, a meeting with a group of Army cadets and Navy midshipmen.
All right, who's going to win? Who's going to win? One picture. Here we go. Give me that camera.
And when he appeared in public to greet the crowd from a balcony, he received a big ovation. Later, we asked the president-elect about attending a game that now has special resonance for him. So what do you think?
I think it's fantastic. These are incredible people. You see the enthusiasm, the spirit. Incredible.
You're going to be the commander-in-chief in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You're going to be in charge of these young men and women. Talks about that.
Big responsibility. We have to make the right decisions. It really is. It's a daunting responsibility, and we'll do the job.
And if you missed it, Army beat Navy 21-17, its first victory over the midshipmen in 15 years.